Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to Life, Health, and More. Today's program I'm excited about because I'm talking to you about three little fixes that you can do to make a difference in your lifestyle, in your health. Now, what I'm doing now is I'm trying today to see if I can watch the live feed at the same time that I'm talking to you so that I can see when people are on, because I can't always see you guys when you make comments and when you come in. So it doesn't seem to be working, so I'm not going to belabor the point here, but let's get on to things. Introducing myself, I am Karen Sullivan. I am a fitness instructor and a amateur athletic union bodybuilder, and I did not compete at powerlifting, but I did powerlifting in my training, and I used to do exhibitions with the team back in Virginia Beach back in the day. My focus on health now is, or on this show, is health, fitness, exercise, helping you to live a better, healthier life. Otherwise, why bother? Life is about trying to enjoy things, not be in pain and be debilitated. So I'd like to help you get moving. And let me tell you that those people who comment, share, and while they're on the live feed, especially sharing, if you share this so that your friends can jump on and be involved, and you have the folks that win prizes are the ones that are most involved in the program. If you feel uncomfortable about making a comment, just go ahead and private message me. Okay? Because I'd be glad to get back to you about it. So sharing and commenting is really encouraged. So that said, we're moving on. Now, I'm a regular person. Most of us are just regular people, as opposed to elite athletes, people who are either professional or semi-professional, or, like the kids that are, doing team sports and college sports and those sorts of things. And I have children that are in their 20s now. So, the things that I did when I was in my 20s, I can't do. My body's not able to do it now. And following a training regime for people that are trying to get in shape, if you're trying to follow something that you see someone who is younger than you or more athletic, or somebody who is a competitive athlete, it's just not going to work for you. So that's what I'm trying to work with you today on, okay? So the three things that we're going to talk about, there are three amazing ways that you can make yourself healthier. So today we're going to talk about working with your abdomen, how to relax, and then also how to feel better, and talking about the benefit of coaching, okay? And with that, there's a potential for saving yourself $300 and getting fit and healthier and feeling better at the same time. So if you're interested in feeling better, say right now in the comment section, I am. And the thing to do, even if you're watching a replay, is to say, I am, and then I can catch up with you and let you know how we can do that. So we are going to talk about abs, right, first and foremost, because many of the times, if you're thinking that you have to be able to do exercises the way everybody else does them, that may be keeping you from doing your exercises effectively, the stuff that will really do you good. So let's talk about abs first. How many of you work abs? Let's see, can you tell me? Yes, no, maybe. Okay, so the abs are a breadbasket. Okay, when they call it a breadbasket, it's really truly that way, because abs work and they're built into a whole matrix of interwoven muscles, and with the tendons and the ligaments and everything, and they all work together. We exercise them singularly. We'll do crunches and we do things for our obliques, but they really need to be strengthened in unison. And so one of the ways that you can tell that your abdomen is not really strong is when you're doing something and it hurts your back. the reason it hurts your back is because the abdominal muscles are not strong enough to do what you're asking them to do. So they're trying to recruit other muscles. And most often the muscles in your legs that, we'll talk about that in a little bit here, that muscle, the psoas muscle, that's also known as the hip flexor, and it's in the groin area, and that muscle can be tightened and cause problems in the back. And when you're doing exercises and you're dropping your feet toward the floor, it will affect the psoas muscle. So I see a lot of people coming and going. I don't know that anybody's still there because I can't see that on my feed at all. But if you're here, will you let me know and make a comment so that I can tell that you're here and I can address any concerns that you might have. So I know that years ago, I was a Pilates instructor, and I still teach Pilates and integrate it into my classes. And I was working with an elderly gentleman that had some problems with his shoulders, and I asked him a question about what his chiropractor was doing working with him, and the chiropractor was gracious enough to talk to me. And so he called me one day and we had a discussion about this client and how his body was, and I was explaining the things that I was doing, and I mentioned to him the one sentence that was, well, I asked him to pull his belly button into his spine and brace his belly, and, you know, to support his back. And the chiropractor said to me, well, actually, that move destabilizes the spine. Well, you could have knocked me over with a feather, because I'd never heard that before in all the years that I had been instructing. This has been probably 10 years ago that I heard this. He sent me to look up research that was done by a man named Dr. Stuart McGill out of Waterloo University, and you can go ahead and check on YouTube. There is an interview with him that was done in the New York Times online, and it's a little video, and it's McGill is McGill. And so anyway, I took a course from him about the spine, and he is a spine specialist. He is not a fitness person, but he knows about how to protect the back and how to work the back and keep it strong through working the abdomen. So that video has exercises on it, and I've been doing those exercises with my clients for the last 10 years. Predominantly, I still do some things that were in my Pilates class, but the biggest thing that I recognized was that people work through the pain thinking that, well, my abdomen will get stronger and my back won't hurt as much. It will, but in the meantime, you could injure yourself by doing an exercise that is recruiting muscles in your back and it's hurting your back. So the rule is don't keep going if it hurts. And if it hurts and you're in a class situation, say to the instructor, when I do this, it bothers me, and they can make an adjustment. You know, and instructors are great things, and they can watch you and they know what's going on in your body to a point. But unless you communicate that doesn't seem to be a good thing for me, you know, you might do it after class, and then, because heavens, it disrupts the class terribly, but afterward talk to them and see what they can do about understanding the physiology and the biomechanics of your body, so that they can give you something that you can do instead of what you were trying to do. Okay? So the biggest thing is you have to know your limits, and you have to communicate with your fitness instructor, whether it's in a classroom situation or a one-on-one and doing personal training. A little bit easier to talk with somebody one-on-one, but you have to take the time to go to a fitness instructor and talk to them. Okay. Now, relaxation. When you are exercising and you're working the muscles and you're expending all this energy and working it, and you're doing it every day, and well, there comes a point regularly that you have to give your body a chance to recover. In life, we all need to spend some time recovering. Now, I have something to show you. Let's see. This is a coaster. and this is a top. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see, spin it. Woo! There we go. See that spinning top? Isn't that what your life is like? Whoa, that you're all on the outside. You're in this craziness of the top. The way we really should live is like we're in the center of the top, because the center of the top is still. Everything around it is moving. As a matter of fact, I had a friend give me the other day a watch that has a Tasmanian devil on it, and I said, oh my gosh, and it plays that little Looney Tunes, ditty that goes with the cartoons. And I said that I talk about this with helping people to understand how we live in life and why it's so important to relax. The same way it's important to let your muscles relax, taking a day off between. If you work legs on Monday, try not to work them until Wednesday again, at least, because it takes a while for your body to recover. And in the recovery comes the strength, the balance, the coordination, all of that, okay? So that's a real important thing. But in our lives, we need to recharge ourselves. We can't just go ahead and charge through life. It's also known as meditation. And I call it meditation occasionally, but I started calling it relaxation a few years ago. I remembered that, this is a great story. My dad was a crisis alcohol and drug counselor for years in the state of Delaware, and he worked with his clients and taught them how to relax. And it was a form of meditation, and it's basically what I teach, with being quiet and calm and working through making a process, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But one day my dad was going into the basement. It was, I think, a Sunday afternoon, and he was headed down into the basement, and he was famous for hiding ice cream in the freezer downstairs or candy downstairs. My sister said he used to always hide candy in his underwear drawer. Who would know? She seemed to know. But anyway, so Dad's going downstairs, and he says to me, I'm going to go downstairs and relax a little bit. He had been out working in the yard, and he was just going to chill. And so I thought, okay, so he's busy. But after he was down there for a few minutes, I decided I was going to go down, because I thought, I bet he's having a candy bar, or his big thing was those Klondike bars, I bet he's having a Klondike bar. So I headed down the stairs, and as I got to the bottom of the stairs, he's sitting in his recliner, his feet are on the floor, his hands are relaxed on his lap, and his eyes are closed. And I thought, oh my goodness, he really is down here meditating. And he was, and he opened his eyes, and he said to me, honey, I told you that I was down here relaxing. I said, I know, Dad, but I thought that was kind of code for Klondike bar. Isn't that great? Anyway, so that's why I call it relaxation. I think it's easier to talk about relaxing than it is meditating, because there's a little bit of an Eastern philosophy that's attached to the idea of meditation. Although what it is it's a process of quieting your mind. Quiet your mind. Yeah, right. So those of you who have tried meditation before and think, no way, it's not happening, because you either fall asleep or you think about everything that you have to do. Would you comment like you're snoozing, zzz, lots of Z's, and let me know that, yeah, commenting, oh, okay, right, sure, I'll just snore over here. But removing the stress through doing this is great. And you just, like I said, need to give your brain something to do while you're sitting there. Now, I have a YouTube channel, and on the new YouTube channel is an example of several different ways of doing this meditation, okay? And the one that is most popular is called the ignition meditation. That's when you get into the car before you start the car and take off like a crazy person, because you've got that Tasmanian devil, right? That you're hurry, you're on the outside of the top. Step onto the top of the top, okay? And take 3 deep, full breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth, and just relax. Now, There are several different things that you can do. It does not have to be long in this meditation or relaxation. The 3 deep breaths could be something just to get you calm down so that you're a little bit more focused on the task at hand. The other thing that you could do is a shower meditation, where as you're showering, you're aware of, the water coming down your head, down your body, and just do deep breathing and relax. If you're using, a loofah, to work on legs and elbows and those sorts of things, but that's a great time to just allow the water to flow off of you and enjoy the water and the steam filling your lungs as you're breathing. Okay. Also, there's a stretching meditation, because I know you all stretch, right? Everybody that stretch, say, yes, ma'am. Well, as you stretch, you do the same thing. You go into a stretch and you close your eyes and you take 3 deep breaths and hold the stretch so that you can allow your body to relax. And at the same time, your brain can be paying attention to what your body feels like. Okay? So take a second to go and look at the YouTube channel, Karen Philly Sullivan, which is my maiden name, or Karen Sullivan, and it has several videos, and one is called the Ignition Meditation, so check that out. So that said, I want to talk about my coaching. Okay, who wants to feel better in 30 days? And coaching is a great thing. I have here a picture of, let's see, let me go here. This is one of my clients. Her name is Crystal. This is what Crystal looked like when she started working with me, or maybe a little bit before she started. And then after a while, she sent me this selfie, and see the difference in her. Big difference, huh? And then here, when she got into a dress that she hadn't worn in a really, really long time. So getting fit and feeling better in 30 days, this is part of it, is working with me for coaching. Now look, I have to share this with you. It's a new picture of my grandson, Anthony. Isn't he great? I'm thrilled with this picture my son and daughter-in-law sent me. Huh? That fun? So anyway, Crystal worked for me a long time. Worked with me for a couple of years, and she is still a friend, and she's doing fantastic with her business. Those of you who live in St. Charles may know her very well, and you recognize her face. But the comment that I make that says, "Hey Laura, welcome." The comment that I make that says that it's so much more than diet and exercise, that's something that Crystal used to say all the time when she realized that you have to go beyond diet and exercise and what you think about food and how you work with it. Yeah, Laura agrees with me on that one. So I tell you, it's really important to have somebody to help guide you. Now, this is the guarantee, one of the guarantees that I have right now. I can tell you, you can get your personal plan to be better in 30 days. I know that's reflecting a little bit. I apologize for that. To get the health print done, and this will save you right off the bat $300. Working with me on a one-to-one basis is a great way to help you eliminate all of the stuff that comes from the whole fitness industry and the world itself that's sending you all kinds of notifications about what you should do, shouldn't do, how you should exercise, how you should eat, how you should, all of it. And so I can help you with that. For the past 10 years, I've been working with people. Crystal is just one of those people. And people have gotten terrific results, and it helps on several levels because it's not all about just physical. It's also about working with mental and spiritual, and your ability to relax. When I skipped telling you this about the relaxation, and I probably should tell you this story. It's a terrific story. It's because it's fun. We were doing I was doing a meditation class, and I had probably 6 or 8 people in the class. And there was a couple together sitting on a love seat, and we did our first exercise, and everybody was going through and decided they would figure out their own thing to try to meditate, to try and keep their mind focused on other things. And, not paying bills, not how your back hurt, not an argument you had with your sister, but there were things that people had. So some of the things they were doing was, I had seashells and rocks and things, polished stones that they could hold in their hands and feel. Some people chose that they were just going to pay attention to their breathing. So anyway, this couple sitting there, and visualization is something that a lot of people like to try, but it's really pretty hard to do. So this wife in this couple said, well, I tried to visualize this red ball and this ball bouncing, and I tried to breathe and see this ball, but I just couldn't see this ball. And she said, I gave it up, and I just ended up, paying attention to my breathing, and that worked for her too. So her husband's sitting next to her, and he said, well, just as we started, a motorcycle went by. And he said, and I listened. He said, I'm a real auditory person. And so I listened, and I listened to the motorcycle, and I could hear it go all the way down the road, and the sound got smaller and smaller. And I listened the whole time thinking, wow, motorcycle. Didn't think about anything else but just the motorcycle. And then he says, and all of a sudden, this red ball started bouncing across in front of me. So for those of you, Jared just joined us. He's not going to get it, but I'll have to tell you later, or watch it on replay and see about meditating. And it's a great thing. That's the kind of thing that happens when we have our classes, which is really super fun. Anyway, let's talk about our coaching. For the past 10 years, I have worked with people on the telephone, on Skype, and we discuss on a weekly basis. It takes about 30 minutes, and discuss where you are with your program. And we also talk about, your exercise, your food, and your diet, and all kinds of things that come up. It's usually 30 minutes. I have had clients in Texas and Florida, in Missouri, New Jersey, North Carolina, I said Georgia, right? And Delaware. And it's usually $25 a session for the 30 minutes. And I know that that's probably cheap, but that's okay, because I feel like it's a reasonable thing that more people can afford it. So it would be $300 for 3 weeks. Now, I'm not offering you that right now. I'm really not. What I'm saying is that's what I do. But the thing that I have come to really get excited about is this program that I have available for you guys, which is taking this health print test, and that's at lifehealthmore.myshaklee.com. And if you take that, it's 20 questions. It takes you about 5 minutes to answer those questions. It's all automated. It's on my website. You just look for that green box that I just showed you, and you take this test, and then we can talk about it, and it will give you some ideas, give you a rating. And it's not just, it's something that was made with, like from the American Heart Association, the questions that were chosen that had to do with fitness and lifestyle changes, exercise things that people are doing, and the way that people are eating as far as vegetables and grains and proteins and those sorts of things. So it's really very good, because it will give you some great recommendations, and we can discuss about that. Now, if you decide to implement the program in whatever way, shape, or form, while you are doing that, this is where the savings come in, because I work with you on a weekly basis and help you make the changes that you need to. So you're saving $300 right off the bat, and then there are all the different Shaklee supplements that you would be purchasing. So, and you do whatever you interested in. You don't have to start big. You can start small and go from there. Now, why am I interested in Shaklee? Why do I talk about Shaklee? Well, it's a 60-year-old company. And in 1915, Dr. Shaklee actually made the very first vitalized minerals, is what he called it. And it's the first vitamin. There were no vitamins before him. He always was really, really felt it was important to be in harmony with nature. So Shaklee has continued that for the past 60 years since the companies began. They're safe. They screen and process every single raw material and the products themselves, and it's actually surpasses 3 times the amount of what the U.S. Pharmacopoeia insists on. They have 71 patents and patents pending and 120 published articles. And I'm telling you, the biggest thing too is it's 100% money back guarantee on all the product line. Now, for me, I can also tell you, I can guarantee that I will be there for you to help you find your way through. The changes have to come from you. But with the combination of coaching and the great products that we have here through Shaklee will really give you that, just the edge that you need. Now, I'm really excited about the fact that science, Shaklee's all about science, and they did a landmark study that came out 5 or 6 years ago, and it was done with, let's see, University of California at Berkeley. And what they did was they took a group of people, and they had, some of them were people who took Shaklee supplements for 10 years or more, and then there were people who took no supplementation, and then there were people who took other companies' supplements. And they found that in their 4 key biomarkers that Shaklee people were healthier. They had, hands down, better numbers than the people who had other products or no products at all. Now, the neato part is the fact that there is a second landmark study going on now, and that has to do, or maybe they've wrapped that up at this point. How many of you know about telomeres? Do you know what telomeres are? It has to do with aging. The telomeres are like the ends of the of DNA. They're sort of, if you think of shoelaces and that plastic cap that's at the end of a shoelace, that's what a telomere is. And if you have longer, stronger telomeres, then you're not going to see the person, the individual, aging much. This is something that there was a woman in 2009. Her name is Elizabeth Blackburn. She won the Nobel Peace Prize, and she did study about telomeres. Well, she has coupled with Shaklee. She's one of the Shaklee scientists that's incredible, Nobel Prize winner, and she has done a study. I've got a comment from her. Here she goes. In the telomere study, she said, isn't that cool? So Rebecca's here. Hi. She said, the Shaklee population is remarkably healthier than the general population, as shown by 2 studies, the landmark study first, and the long-term nutritional users of long-term nutritional supplement users, and the telomere study. So they have found that the people who are using Shaklee supplements are feeling better and stronger too. So who's going to be the first person to take that health print? You think maybe Rebecca or Jared? Would you do it? I can't really tell who all's here except Rebecca. I can see you right now. Go to lifehealthmore.myshaklee.com and look for that green box that I showed you a bit ago that has, here you go, it has the health, whoops, gracious. So it has the fingerprint on it, and get yourself a health print. Thanks very much. Having a little bit of technical problem today. And I wasn't able to see people's comments really as well as I would have liked to have, but I hope that you guys are able to take this information and use it to your advantage. And you have a wonderful day. Thanks a lot for joining me.